gives it back. Intercepted by Coleman.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, the Lightning Kid, and welcome back to another episode of Reese's Roundup. So in today's video, I'm gonna be... Damn squirrel again! So in today's video, I'm gonna be talking about the AFC and the NFC matchup between the New England Patriots and the Denver Broncos and the Arizona Cardinals and I'm gonna also be making my Super Bowl predictions. So to start things off, the AFC matchup between the Denver Broncos and the New England Patriots. Great game. It was a fantastic game. I loved it. I loved every second of it. I was in fact going for the Denver Broncos to pull that one through, and they did. They showed great defense. They played tough. They played hard. The New England Patriots came back and they fought and they fought and they fought. And they did everything they could to come back, but everybody wants to say that it was because of that missed extra point that lost the Patriots a game. While it was, you know, the deciding factor at the end of the game, you know, the Broncos just fought hard, man. They came through, they played with great intention, and they just got to Brady on every single snap. It's like he just wasn't protected. Von Miller, DeMarcus Ware, those guys were just getting to Tom Brady, man, and I've never seen Brady get massacred like that. That was just a great performance from those two players. In the first quarter, it was really close. The Broncos had 7, the Pats had 6. The Pats defense, they were playing a little sloppy. Oh my gosh, and the run game is terrible from both teams. The Broncos were playing really great. Manning was finding defensive openings. He was just picking apart that Patriots defense in the first quarter, man. And he started off the game really hot. And you know, Gostkowski, they could have tied the game, but Gostkowski missed that extra point. That I'm still thinking that wasn't the deciding factor. People might say it is, people might say it's not, but you know, who knows? You know, at the end of the day. In the second quarter, Tom Brady, he was just making some very bad passes. You know, he wasn't finding his guys. The defense was just getting to this man so much that he didn't have time to throw the ball like he normally does. He wasn't sitting in the pocket long enough. And hell, even his longest run of the game, guys. The longest run of the game, I should say, was his 13-yard run to get a first down. His running backs weren't doing anything. His receivers could barely do anything in the first half. It was pathetic. I mean, the fact that Tom Brady ran for 13. Let me just put that in. Tom Brady ran for 13 yards, the longest rush of the Patriots in that game. That right there, folks, just tells you how bad that the Patriots run game was, and that he had to throw it so many times. I mean, Tom Brady finished the game, let's see, Tom Brady finished the game 27 for 56. He had to throw the ball 56 times, and at the end of the day, they finished with 8 carries for 25 yards total, the Patriots team. So, I mean, that proves to you right there, like, they had to completely abandon the run, and the game was so close. That's what I'm not understanding, is that the game was really close, and they had to resort to just throwing the ball so many times, and that's probably what killed them the most. I know, like, the Broncos defense was really getting to Brady a lot, but you can't be one-dimensional, not against a team like that. And the fact that they completely just ditched the run game, they needed something to, like, spark up that offense a little bit more, you know. And that's what happened. That's what went wrong. They needed to run the ball consistently, get Brady to feel his groove again, and they probably could have won that game, you know, by about a touchdown or a field goal, you know. But that was the end of the, you know, by the end of the second quarter, you know, neither team had a run game, and Brady's receivers had less than 30 yards, you know. They had 5 carries for 22 yards, the Pats, and the Broncos, although they did run the ball a lot, they only ended with 39 yards in the first half. So, you know, Brady was 9 for 21. He was not looking good at all. 87 yards, no touchdowns. Manning, he wasn't good either. You know, although he kind of looked like he was playing pretty good, you know, he was throwing for 50%. He had a lot more yards than Brady, almost double. And he did throw for 2 touchdowns to Owen Daniels, so I will give him that. And And you know, at the end of the day, the second half was when it really started kicking off. You know, the Patriots started slowly coming back. You know, their defense was holding the Broncos. Manning wasn't really, you know, back in his groove again, and you know, they started kicking field goals to help bring back the team a little bit more. And you know, in the fourth quarter, by the time the third quarter was, you know, like really getting into it, Von Miller was getting really into Brady. He had 2 sacks by the end of the quarter. That was amazing. Von Miller was just finding holes into that offensive line and just really ramming it down Brady's throat. And the Pats defense, they were just holding up Manning too. You know, I got to give them props for doing what they were doing against Peyton Manning. Now, in the fourth quarter, you know, DeMarcus Ware, he was getting good pressure. Although Von Miller was playing lights out, DeMarcus Ware was also getting to Brady. He was putting mad pressure on Brady himself. And the Patriots did score that touchdown, man, to Rob Gronkowski. I was really seeing if they were going to get to that, convert that 2-point conversion, and, you know, they just couldn't do it. The Broncos held on, man, and that was just an amazing game to watch. And, wow, that was fun. You know, Tom Brady finished 27 for 56, 310 yards with just 1 touchdown. Peyton Manning, 17 for 32, 176, 2 touchdowns. You know, that's what I'm saying from before. You know, Peyton Manning only had to throw the ball 32 times because his team finished with 27 carries, while the Patriots only ran the ball 8 times. You know, that was the decided. The Patriots were just too one-dimensional, and you know, the lead wasn't that far away. You know, it was just a 8-point game, so there was no reason for them to abandon the rush like that. You know, although they don't really have those top-notch running backs. You know, you gotta take some pressure off Brady, especially with the way he was performing yesterday. You know, the receivers weren't doing so good. Demaryius Thomas, he wasn't in the game at all. You know, I mean, like, he only finished the game with 2 catches, I think, for 12 yards. And whoever was guarding him was just shutting that guy down. Gronkowski, he didn't play good at all in the first half, but man, that second half, he was just dominating that Broncos defense, man. And that was it, man. Now on to the NFC. Guys, that game was absolutely horrendous. Guys, I've been a Cardinals fan for 9 seasons. I've lived through Kurt Warner, you know, that great Super Bowl run. I've lived through Kevin Kolb, Ryan Lindley, John Skelton, Derek Anderson, Drew Stanton, not Carson Palmer. Carson Palmer was supposed to be the chosen one, guys. But last night, he proved to me that he was nowhere near as good as I wanted him to be. Guys. Oh. I need an aspirin. Guys. My head hurts just talking about this game. Guys, that game last night was just horrendous. I was expecting a good hard-fought battle. I said 27-23 Cardinals. And yes, I am a Cardinals fan, so of course it was going to be a biased score, but God, the Panthers had 27 in the first freaking half! In the first quarter, the Panthers were putting mad pressure on Carson Palmer. Now, I've watched the Cardinals for a very long time, so I know that this is, ever since Bruce Arians came into the team, we've always been a second half team. I wasn't worried that we were down 7-0. I wasn't worried that we were down 10-0. I started getting a little worried when we were down 17-0. And then, you know, we started making some stops. We were doing great. David Johnson, my God, that guy's gonna be something someday. He was really carrying the team. Literally carrying the team. And then Carson Palmer had to just take over. He decided that he wanted to start throwing the ball. And he was throwing the ball. Yeah. He was just throwing the ball to the wrong team. Because Carson Palmer was playing for the Carolina Panthers last night. That's the conclusion I came to. Carson Palmer was a Carolina Panther last night. Guys, I stopped watching the game after the third quarter. It was, oh my God. After Carson Palmer threw that pick six to Luke Kuechly, I had enough. My heart can only handle so much. Guys, in 2009, the Arizona Cardinals were whomped 45-14 to the New Orleans Saints. I did not think that was going to happen again. The very next time we got to the NFC Championship from that 2009 season was last night. It was last night, and it was Sunday night. Sorry. And we just relived that memory, man. That game was so sad to watch. Guys, I cried. The last time I cried watching my team play was in the Super Bowl. And when Santonio Holmes had that catch, I cried. You know, we deserved that win. Larry deserved that ring. But we lost. And in today's game, in Sunday's game, we got absolutely massacred. I never expected the Cardinals to get bodied like they did last night. Carolina brought it. They brought it, and we didn't show up. We were not there. I was expecting a great second half from our team, but we were down 24-7 in the second quarter. By the time the third quarter started, they just started running away with it again. We got outscored 10-0. You know, their defense, they were just unstoppable. Our defense was sloppy. It was turnover city for us. Guys, I normally keep tabs on everything. I have a whole box score set on my notebook. I don't have anything for the fourth quarter, guys. I gave up. I'm not one to give up on my team. I've suffered through a lot. You know, we've had a lot of 5-11 seasons, 4-12 season. You know, some 7-9. Guys, I've never been so embarrassed as a Cardinals fan. This game was so bad. We finished the season 13-3. We played some great teams, and last night we were playing like the Cleveland Browns, guys. So here's my Super Bowl prediction. It's gonna be the Broncos and the Panthers. The Broncos, they have a really great defense. The Panthers have a really great defense, but you know, the last time the Broncos were in the Super Bowl, they had to play the Seattle Seahawks. And you know, Denver did not have the defense that they did back then. While I do admit it, but you know, the Cardinals, after what the Cardinals looked like last night, man, that Panthers defense is gonna get to Peyton Manning. And Peyton Manning's not as mobile as Carson Palmer. Peyton Manning's gonna get put on his ass. But if Peyton Manning plays much better than he did against the Steelers, and then he did against the New England Patriots, then I really feel like the Broncos can pull one off. It will be a battle of the defenses. You know, Cam Newton, he's a mobile quarterback. He will be able to find some flaws in the Broncos. He's a very young quarterback, and he's inexperienced like Peyton Manning is, which is why I think that the Broncos have the slight edge. If it's going to come down to it, it will be between the two quarterbacks, because their defenses are going to be lights out that game. So if it comes down to the quarterbacks and having to make the right decisions and making good throws and making good passes, Peyton Manning is going to be the guy. You know, Cam Newton's inexperienced. He's played, what, 3-4 seasons, 5 seasons, and he's only been in the playoffs twice. You know, he's never been to the Super Bowl. He might treat it like just another game, but you know, it's the biggest stage of them all, and I don't think that he's gonna have what it takes to win it. You know, against a very powering defense like the Denver Broncos have. So I'm gonna go on a limb here and say Broncos 200 and Panthers 0. I'm gonna say it's although the defenses will be at it, you know, I think it will be a pretty high scoring game. So I'm gonna say 34-27 Broncos, and Peyton Manning will get his second ring and retire as probably the second greatest quarterback in the game. That's my opinion. Peyton Manning needs another ring to prove himself that he's one of the greatest. He doesn't need 4 rings like Brady to say that he's the best quarterback in the world. Peyton Manning has all the records. He's got all the stats. You know, all he needs is a second ring, and I think he cemented himself as probably the greatest quarterback ever. Next to Joe Montana. I don't know. We'll see when the time comes. But for now, I think Peyton Manning is really, really high up there as one of the greats. You know, he deserves it more than Cam, to be completely honest. I really think that Peyton Manning deserves this ring to cement himself as one of the best ever. And I want him to go out there and get it. And I want the Panthers to be absolutely embarrassed. Guys, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you like seeing me suffer and seeing me cry a little bit, I shed a tear. Guys, there's a tear. If you can see it, I have a tear. Comment what you want to see next week, what you want to see me talk about. You know, the Cavs and Spurs come on Monday night, so I might talk about that next week unless something else big comes up. So, with that being said, guys, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you leave a comment. See who you give me a comment on what you guys think is gonna be the Super Bowl prediction, and how you feel it's gonna go down. That's it. I'll see you next time. Holla at your boy. Peace.